Ciao, I am Nick Stellino. You are going to love this. This takes me back to my youth in Sicily. As a matter of fact, I'm going to share with you two recipes that were truly prevalent in my youth. We will make for you grilled shrimp with stewed peppers, and then a tuna, tomato, olive oil, and caper salad. As a matter of fact, the kind of tuna we're going to use is ventresca. Please join me in the kitchen. Spicy just right. When it comes to peppers, you want to think as the reverse of football. In this game of peppers, it's not the big guys that win, it's the little guys. And let me tell you why. Habanero, Thai chili, shishito, they are so powerfully hot that an inexperienced cook could truly get themselves in trouble. Why? Super, super hot. These are sweet peppers. They are commonly called capsicum annanum. It's a mouthful, I know. It took me a while to be able to say it correctly. What makes these peppers very, very interesting is the fact that they have a flavor that develops over time. All peppers start out as green peppers. That is, this variety of sweet peppers. But from this green, they move on to something more exciting as yellow, orange, and red. And it's a variety of these that I like to use in the making of peperonata. What makes the peppers so interesting? First and foremost, they are loaded with vitamin C, and it's very, very good for you. Also, they have enormous flexibility in the way in which you can treat them. You can cut them in pieces, you can saute them, you can roast them, you can stuff it with rice, you can stuff them with sausages, or you can make a wonderful braise, which as Italian call peperonata. When you do use the peperonata, don't make a mistake. You want to go ahead with sweet peppers, because as the sweet peppers cook together with a little bit of onion and garlic, they produce this flavor, which is just the end of the world. As a matter of fact, I'm so excited about what I'm telling you that I'm going to take these with me in the kitchen. But keep in mind, for those of you that like things in life a little bit spicy, when no one else is looking, if you were to put a little bit of jalapeno or habanero in there, as long as you're honest to the people that you're serving it to, that would be a wonderful thing to do. Peppers, as far as I'm concerned, are the one thing that make life sweet. But they have to be sweet pepper. Capsicum annanum. Isn't this beautiful shrimp? Oh, you just got to wait and see what I'm going to be making with this. Today, we're going to make grilled shrimp with stewed peppers. The Italian name for stewed peppers is peperonata. There are different versions on how peperonata is made, from northern Italy to southern Italy, different additions that are placed in. However, the result is the same. It's absolutely delicious. So, first and foremost, we start with olive oil. Now, the amount of olive oil that you're going to put to this is abundant, and there is a reason to it. The olive oil itself will become the sauce because it's going to be imbued with all the flavors that we put in. You don't want to start with a hot pan. As a matter of fact, the process that we're going to get involved with is the stewing process. So usually what I like to do is to bring into medium heat. So as the ingredients touch the pan, they will not sizzle. You don't want them to sizzle. You want a constant medium heat that allows for the ingredients to release their juices. And these are the ingredients we're going to go with. Yellow peppers, red peppers, and onions. One of the things I want you to notice is how much volume there is right here in the pan. And this is what more often than not discourages people. They look at this thing and they go to themselves, oy vey, I will never get to this thing. It's going to take forever. But basically, try to remember all of these ingredients are full of water. The water will mingle with the olive oil, and over the stewing process, it will release itself into the very base of it, giving us the flavor that we want. This is not a sauce in which you really need to build up the flavors a little bit at a time and a different cooking. It's pretty much the same constant flow of cooking. So the next thing that we need to do is to actually impart the flavor to it. You know that usually I always hold back with the salt, but you always want to give a little bit of the salt right here and right now, because we want the salt to do two things for now. And what I like to use, by the way, is sea salt. We want for the salt to help draw out its juices, draw out the water, because you want it to go into the bottom, into the stewing process itself. Also, a little bit of black pepper. I love it. And here you're going to love this and be surprised of it at the same time. A tiny bit of vinegar and a little bit of sugar, almost in the same amount. This creates, in Italian we say, come si può dire, agrodolce. Agrodolce is a word that, in my opinion, belongs to Sicily. You have to realize, historically speaking, sugar was a very rare commodity. In Sicily, we have a lot of salt, but not sugar. So the addition of sugar meant in the old days that you were a man of wealth, and therefore balancing with the vinegar, the agrodolce, the sweet and sour, creating this unique finish to it, brings out these super flavors. The next thing that we want to do as well is to add parsley. Parsley just like this. The parsley will bring a flavor. It's going to move this whole stewing process into a certain direction. The next thing that we want to do is add the garlic. But I have to show you something very important about the garlic. And pay attention to what I'm saying right now. This is the garlic we're about to add. You see how thick it is? It's very important that you leave it thick. Remember, this particular dish, the peperonata, will cook for roughly about 35-40 minutes, depending on the amount that you make. If you were to add chopped garlic, the chopped garlic, as you turn this occasionally, you want to turn the peperonata as it softens every 15-20 minutes. If it goes to the bottom, the chopped garlic will burn. And unfortunately, if it burns, it's going to ruin for you the whole dish. Now, to add some of the liquid and make sure that the peperonata also picks up the traditional red color, we put some tomato sauce. And this tomato sauce is going to take it for us exactly where it's at. From this point on, all that you want to do is to let the peperonata go. Two different techniques of what you can do. You can put a cover on top of the pot, and this will increase the speed at which the peperonata will come down to its proper look and form. And you want to wait? Nah, come on, I have something for you. I already made it. I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like. You don't need to wait until the end of the show. Follow this. This is what we started out with. So 45 minutes later, this is what the peperonata will look like. You see, thickened, melded, all these flavors running in there. You have the sweetness of the sugar, the little bitterness of the vinegar. The garlic is now completely cooked, and you will be surprised because these pieces of garlic, once you bite into them, would actually melt into your mouth. The combination of peppers, the yellow, the green, and if you're lucky enough, orange is wonderful, even a little bit of green will give you a fantastic flavor. Let's now take a look at the shrimp because I want to share with you something truly exciting on how to actually handle the shrimp. One of the biggest things that people make, not a mistake, it's how you like it. You see the tail of the shrimp, it's right here. I personally don't like dealing with this, especially when I'm eating. So this is what I do. I take two fingers, you simply crack it at the bottom, and you just slip it out. I'll do it again right here. Crack it, slip it out. I have one more over here. Crack it, slip it out. Think of it as a song. You'll go, crack it, slip it out, crack it, slip it up. You'll say, what are you doing? And you'll say, oh, I'm singing the Nick Stellino shrimp song. So we put the shrimp in this little plate right here, and the next thing that we're going to do, we are going to pour right on top of it the marinade. You might ask yourself, marinade, Stellino, you haven't shown me nothing. How do you make the marinade? Relax already. Mamma mia, you're always in a rush here. I'm going to show you to make this because this marinade is a secret. I should not show it to you, but this is a cooking show, and unless I share these recipes, you will never trust me again. The recipe for the marinade is very, very important. First and foremost, what you want to do is have a little bit of the peperonata that you made ahead of time. This marinade, by the way, can be made the day before. And don't worry about the peperonata because we do not want to have the peperonata hot in this particular dish. We want to have the peperonata at room temperature. Then extra virgin olive oil, nice flavor. A little bit of sherry wine. Parsley, whole leaves of parsley going right into, just like this. Very important. Parsley imparts a fabulous flavor. A little bit of paprika. Onion powder. Red pepper flakes. Oh, you saw how much I added. You see, my wife is not looking right now, so I get to make it as spicy as I want. And then oregano. Cover the top. You may ask yourself why. You've seen the show before. You know what happens to me when I do it. So what you want to have is a real good strong pull, and it will give you the creaminess of what you want. So done. When you make this at home, the shrimp, you want to let it marinate no more than, I would say, half hour, 45 minutes. The little bit of acidity that's in the wine, if you leave it in here for too long, might actually cook the shrimp. Come with me to the stove. We have preheated this grill pans right here on very high heat. One of the problems that you might have at home when you cook with the grill pans is that being open, much of the heat evaporates. So this is a technique that I've used. I usually stack two on top of each other. This allows you to maintain the heat in the pan below. They don't need to be the exact pans. You can just want to make sure that you have a pan that has the same surface. And the pan below is now, oh yeah, it's ready to go. So we're going to grill the shrimp. It's not going to take them much time for the shrimp to cook. The flavoring that's brought in by the marinade is going to give us a flavor that you will not believe. I would say about 2 minutes per side will do. Then we're going to pull out the shrimp. We want to keep it tender. And we're going to have exactly what we want. Now we're going to turn the shrimp. Ah, look at those grill marks. All that you see in that is the ingredients of the marinade, which are perfect. We're almost there. Our marinade has given us the flavor that we want for the shrimp. Our peperonata is ready. And now I'm going to show you how to plate it. One of the things that I love about this dish is truly, this is a country dish, is as common as it comes. But the complexity of the flavor, the way in which it plays with your palate, it gives you a variety of things. With every single bite, you feel transported to the next flavor, to the next flavor. It's just, in my opinion, in spite of the fact that it has very humble beginnings, it's one of the most elegant things I know. Now, the plating of it, this is exaggerated. It's me just trying to be Nick Stellino. My mom did not do it this way, but I think about this as if I was running the restaurant and I was saying, when customers come in, I want to have an experience that is just as visual as it is something that tastes great. I think that first and foremost, we fall in love with things through the way we look at them. The shrimp is ready here. Stop. But I love to use my fingers. One of the things that I have not lost. Look at that. Look at the third shrimp right here. How gorgeous is this? And then what I should do next? Let me think about it. Oh, yes. The best of extra virgin olive oil that you can possibly have. And I don't even want to ruin it with parsley or anything else. I just want you to fall in love with this. Grilled shrimp with stewed peppers. And there it is. Tomatoes, are they a fruit or are they a vegetable? Well, if you talk to a botanist, they will tell you that they are fruit because they come from a fruit-bearing plant. However, according to a court decision, a U.S. Supreme Court decision rendered on May 10, 1893, tomatoes were defined to be vegetables. And the reason why was because they are served as a side dish and never as a dessert. Interesting way to go at it. Why do I love tomato? Well, we could go the scientific way. It's chock full of lycopene. And that is a very powerful antioxidant that's extremely great for you. Me, I love the flavor. But how did tomatoes come into our life? Tomatoes were not generated in Europe. As a matter of fact, tomatoes came to America from Christopher Columbus, who brought it right after discovering it. But they were not red tomatoes that came to Europe for the first time. As a matter of fact, the tomatoes that came were these wonderful yellow tomatoes. And that's where the name comes from in Italian. In Italian, the name of tomato is pomodoro. Pomodoro comes from a definition that was given in the year 1544 by a physician and a botanist, Andrea Mattioli, who called the tomato il pomodoro, henceforth pomodoro. Very now remembered by every Italian by the name, but that's not the romantic part that I love about it. You see, in the old days, tomatoes were so rare and so few between, they were often given as an act of love between young lovers. And therefore, the name truly, as it reflected, was il pomo d'amore, the apple of love. Different types of tomatoes taste completely different. These heirloom tomatoes, for example, they're not much to look at. As you can see, they're not pretty, but they taste fantastic. What I encourage you is to always try tomatoes in different recipes, in different ways, and make up for yourself which one you love the most. Follow me in the kitchen. These beautiful tomatoes are what I'm going to use to make our beautiful salad with tuna, tomatoes, olives, and capers, a Sicilian specialty. Just a couple of little improvements that will make upon which we'll call the Stellino signature. Tomatoes. Tomatoes are a sweet thing and a tragic thing all at the same time. Why? Especially in winter time, in spite of the fact that some of us get tomatoes all year round, the tomatoes don't taste that great. How to fix that? How to bring back the sweetness of summer into the tomato. It's a slight marination that you can do, and I want to walk you through it and show it to you. Cut the tomatoes in fairly thick slices. I'm thinking half an inch at least, like we've done right here. I'm using two different types of tomatoes. Let's see where they go. Uno di qua, uno di là, uno di qua. You don't need to speak Italian while you do it, but it does help somewhat. Why? You know, I find that speaking with an accent gets me out of a lot of trouble. Put the tomatoes right in here. Uno di qua, uno di là, uno di qua. Uno di qua, uno di là simply means one here, one there, another one over there. Let's talk about what are we trying to do and what are we trying to accomplish. Tomatoes, in the middle of summer, if you grow them in your garden, they taste splendid, sweet with everything. If you buy them in winter, they don't. How do we fix that? First and foremost, you put a little bit of salt on each one of the tomatoes. I like to use sea salt. The reason why I like to use sea salt, I find it to be better tasting and much more agreeable. Then, a little bit of onion powder to cover each one of the tomatoes, a little bit of garlic powder. If you have it in granulated form, it's even better. I find it to be kind of sweeter. Paprika. Why? I'm in love with paprika. Is this Sicilian? Not at all. But in my family, we had an Hungarian uncle who introduced all of us to paprika. The next thing we're going to do is sugar. Just a touch of sugar on top of the tomatoes, just a touch. Now, why are we doing all of these things? All of these flavors that you see me adding to it, slowly but surely, will start to penetrate into the tomatoes. Once we've done it on one side, I want you to turn it onto the other side. Exactly like this. And repeat the process. A little bit of sugar, a little bit of paprika, onion powder, and garlic powder. Now, when you make this at home, this is something that you want to let rest for at least 15 minutes. In 15 minutes, one of the things that you will notice is that the tomatoes will absorb the flavor, a little bit of water will leak out. Nothing wrong with that, but you know now that when you bite into the tomatoes, they have this package of flavor. This is not, and I'm honest to make sure that you understand, a Sicilian tradition. Sicilians eat tomatoes in summer, and what we get is fantastic. This is how we get non-Sicilian tomatoes to taste good all year round. Let's talk about another little bit of trick. Red onions. I find red onions to be my favorite onions for this particular salad, but they have a very sharp, very aggressive taste. How can we somehow smooth over the taste? I find that if you place them in a marinade of vinegar, red wine vinegar, and a little bit of water, which we have mixed in this bowl right here, and you let them sit for about 15-20 minutes, and then after 15-20 minutes, you take it out, you wash them real well, you dry them real well, they will look like this. What is the advantage that you have in doing so? The onions become sweeter, softer, with a rounder flavor. Wonderful to be had. So this is also very important. Let's talk about a couple of other ingredients. I was talking to a friend of mine. I've known her for a long time. She's a delightful lady. And she was saying to me, you know, Nick, I love this recipe of yours, but the capers, they're too salty. I said, how do you treat the capers? Oh, I open the jar and I pour it with the brine right on top of the food. I go, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Stop. What are you talking about? What you got to do, first and foremost, when you use the capers, like these guys, you put them in a bowl. You wash them. Yes, you got to wash them. The washing process takes away the excess salt, takes away the brine, and the flavor comes out without being so aggressive, so harsh. Very important that you do that. While we have the capers, let's talk about the black olives. This, I must confess, is not the way in which it's done traditionally in Sicily. This old salad is served in a big bowl, family style, and the olives have the pit in it. I don't know about you, but I cannot tell you how many times I almost broke a tooth because I did not think about the pit. So what I do in this particular case, I pit every single olive, and then, as you can see, I cut it in half. This will make it easier for the assembly and also will make it much more pleasant for your dinner guests. Think of yourself as if you're providing a series of small luxuries to the people that come and interact with your food. If you think in that form, you will make everybody happy. Now, I'm about to share with you a secret. Nobody's around. I'll tell you then. Watch this because it's unbelievable. You see this? This tuna right here, it's unique. This is called ventresca. I'm going to turn the jar. Usually they come in jar like this or in cans similar like this, but do you see the striation? Ventresca comes from the Italian word which means ventre, which means tummy. It's also called in Japanese toro. It is the richest part of the tuna. It has a lot of striation, it has a great deal of fat, and when they're packed into extra virgin olive oil just like this and they simmer over a long period of time, the fat renders out and the tuna is splendid. I want to show you exactly what the tuna looks like once we take it out. Look at this. Absolutely gorgeous. You have no idea. This is tuna like you never had. It costs at least twice as much, in some market 3 times as much. They come from Sicily, mostly the southern part of Italy. They come from Spain, Portugal. It's great. very expensive, but trust me, it's one of those things where it's worthwhile for you to invest your money in. Now, let's put together the vinaigrette. This one is going to be easy. It's going to take no time at all. A little bit of vinegar. Together with the vinegar, we do a little bit of basil and a little bit of parsley. Then get the best quality of extra virgin olive oil that you have on hand. And this process that we're doing right now is a process called emulsion. In this process, what we're doing truly is the vinegar is mixing with the extra virgin olive oil, and by whisking it about, we are introducing air into this flow. The air that we're introducing to the flow, as you can see, is making it look nice and thick. At this point, what I love to do is a touch of sea salt, a little bit of pepper, and if you feel like it and nobody's looking, a little bit of sugar. There you are. Yes, yes, yes. We're just about ready. Now, let's assemble this dish. I have chosen a very elegant plate, and I'm saying, why? It's only tomatoes. I'm thinking, if you're going to do something, do it good, or else don't do it at all. So I choose the better tomatoes. I choose the side that I like of the tomatoes. Look how delicately I do this. You know, my wife says, Nick, you're always exaggerating. And maybe I am, but it makes me feel bad. This guy's too small. We'll put a bigger one. Now we start and we build it. The first thing that I want to do is to sprinkle it with the capers. I want you not to think in the fact that what you're doing is not just throwing ingredients in there. You are building flavor bases. Then we take the olives, and you just put the olives on top of each one of the tomato. Then a little bit more of the herbs that we used before, parsley and basil. Look fantastic. Now, let's go with the onions. The onions, you cover it just like this. Trust me, at this point, the onions are not as harsh as we had them before. They're nice and soft. And then take the tuna and treat this tuna as if it was the most expensive, most delicious thing ever, because it is. Put it right on top like this. These pieces of tuna, once you engage with them in your mouth, you will say, Stellino, we love you. You should, to begin with, not just because I've shown you this, because I love what I do and I like to share it with you. And then it's the moment to decorate it. How do we do this? Take the dressing. Let the dressing touch the tomatoes, touch everything. Don't be over forceful with this, just a little bit. What you want to make sure is that everything molds together. And it is at this point that you fall in love with the things that you're making. Tuna, tomato, olive oil, and caper salad. And when people ask you, how is it possible that it tastes so good? You say to them, you know what? I know this guy. He's got an accent. It's kind of cute. But boy, can he cook. And that, of course, would be me. And there it is. It is an honor to have you with me here in my kitchen as we prepare grilled shrimp with stewed peppers and then a salad of tuna, ventresca of course, tomatoes, capers, and olives. I hope that you will use these recipes, you will share with your friends, with your neighbors, with your family, and turn your home into your favorite restaurant. Until next time, ciao. Shrimp, I love everything about shrimp. The most important thing about shrimp is not just the flesh itself, is the shell. As a matter of fact, if I can give you a big word of advice, is when you shop for shrimp the next time that you do, make sure that you save the shells. What I like to do is to put them inside a plastic bag, put them in the freezer, and when I have enough, I make my own shrimp stock. You will love me for that alone. The other thing is how to handle shrimp, how to cook it. Depending on the size, the timing of the cooking varies, but the best way to go at it is with high heat, blasting it for a short period of time. To really bring out the flavor into the shrimp before you cook it is to brush it with a little bit of oil and then spice it up with your own favorite flavor mix of spices. Sugar, salt, pepper, yes, sugar works wonders. Paprika, onion powder, garlic powder, so that when you finally cook it into the oven or under the broiler, immediately all this flavoring become almost a crust-like. On top of it, many times you find yourself in need of small shrimp, but they're not available, and all that you can get is colossal shrimp. If that is the case, do not despair. Simply treat the shrimp as I told you, take the shell out, cut it in small pieces, and do whatever you need to do. Life is made of improvisation. It makes life a lot easier.